What's up, everybody? Welcome to Fantasy Sports Now. Today we're talking about running back breakouts. Okay, running back breakouts are a little bit different than targets. Targets are guys that I like that are towards the top of the draft. Breakouts are guys that are kind of in that middle tier that I think that could become those guys at the top. Sleepers are a little bit different as well. Those are guys that are like way down there that could become relevant. So for me, here's my top 5 running back breakouts. Now, I like to jump right into the content. So if you're a guy that likes to jump into the content and you like to not watch an hour for 5 names like you do on these other sites, then hit the subscribe button because I'm already jumping into the content, all right? And let's jump right into it. I'm talking about Chase Edmonds, okay? I've talked about him a little bit before on my targets, so he was actually on my target because I am going after this guy. But I think that he's going to break out into that upper tier. Now, Kenyon Drake is gone, so that's obviously good for his value because now Chase Edmonds is the top guy. You can see what he did as a backup. He had nearly 800 yards and 5 scores, a lot of targets, so that's really good. It's just a straight backup. Now, James Conner comes into the fold, and I think that a lot of people are going to look at James Conner and say, oh man, they're going to compete. You know, James Conner might now start. This is pre-draft, so keep that in mind. There's a lot of things that could happen here. But to me, I think that Chase Edmonds takes this job and runs with it. I think that James Conner has been hurt for a very long time. I think that there's not very much gas in that tank anymore. I think that it's going to lower Chase Edmonds' draft capital, and then you're going to be able to get value from that because I think Chase Edmonds is going to be a top 20 running back who's going to get drafted probably more in like the 35th kind of range for a running back. So look for this guy because I think that he's going to be really big. Next one is Cam Akers. You know, last year he only played 12 games and he finished 42nd. They have him ranked 10th, so he is high. He is up there. And I guess I'm here to say that I agree with this, and I think that he could get into that, honestly, that top 5 range this year. So hear me out because that's a bit of a stretch because if you look at last year, it wasn't a huge season. He didn't score a lot of touchdowns. So a couple things. Malcolm Brown's gone. I know that doesn't seem like a big thing, but it's just another back that's taking goal lines from him. He's taking carries from him. He's taking opportunity. There's that. The biggest thing, though, is that Matthew Stafford is now a Ram. So I'm from Detroit. I have watched Matthew Stafford for, 10 years now, ever since he's been here. Big fan. I think that he is going to make this offense near elite because this is the first time he's ever going to have a run game. There's that. And he's going to have pretty darn good receivers yet again. But the big thing that Matthew Stafford's going to have that he really has never had is he's going to have an elite defense there. So they're going to be winning a lot. And if they're winning a lot and they can pass and they don't know what they're coming, Cam Akers is going to benefit so much. They're going to be winning so many games. They're not going to have a lot of careless turnovers. And this is the guy who's really going to benefit from Stafford and that defense. It's going to be Cam Akers, and I expect him to end up in that top 5. So if you can find him in the 2nd or 3rd round, I'm all over Cam Akers this year. Next, we're talking about another Detroit boy here, DAndre Swift. He had a lot of rushing touchdowns, which obviously you want to see. He did not have a lot of yards. So that is a little bit concerning in here. He finished 20th ranked. They have him finishing a little bit better than that in kind of the projections right now. This is pre-draft, so there's not a lot of actual projections. But here's my thing with DAndre Swift. I think that he is going to be the only guy in Detroit. So Galladay's gone, Stafford gone. He is going to be the entire offense. Jared Goff is going to have to hit him so many times out of the backfield, and he is going to just get fed the ball constantly. And so for me, it's not necessarily, I think that he's obviously talented, but I think it's more about opportunity that he's going to have that a lot of others won't. I think other guys are going to split. I think other guys that, even like a Kareem Hunt is going to come in, he's going to split. He's going to split carries, where Swift is just going to come in and just be the guy, and he's going to be the guy no matter what, basically. He is the only playmaker on this team. So this is a guy that I am looking, and I think that he could fall into that top 10 at the end of the year, which sounds crazy because the yards weren't that many, but that's what I'm looking at. Next guy on my breakout list again is Gus Edwards. So obviously Dobbins is the kind of the lead guy now. Ingram's out, which helps Gus Edwards because any backup work, I suppose you'll say, will now for sure go to Gus Edwards. What I really like about Gus Edwards is that he's getting taken way late. That's the first thing that I really like. I don't think he's going to break out into the top 10 kind of category, scoring, but he could, I guess, is the takeaway here. If you draft Gus Edwards, he's going to be usable right away. He's going to be potentially a flex guy, even as a backup to Dobbins. And if Dobbins does go down, then Gus Edwards is going to elevate basically right into what Dobbins could be. I really believe it. I think Gus Edwards is as good, maybe not talent-wise as Dobbins, but in a run-heavy Baltimore offense, if Gus Edwards was the guy, he could easily finish in the top 15. And taking him at the 41st overall running back is kind of a little bit crazy to me because even, like I said, when you do take him, you don't need Dobbins to get hurt to get value from him. Look at what he did last year with Ingram and Dobbins. He had a good year. He had, 900 yards and 6 rushing touchdowns. That's not bad for a backup in a full-on committee. So keep that in mind when we're going through here. Last guy on the list, I want to first say that you have to remember that this is pre-draft. So this is very early. This is coming out in April. In fact, it's my birthday, so hit the sub button for my birthday. Had a great day today. Benny Snell Jr. right now is the lead back in Pittsburgh. I suspect that Pittsburgh's going to look for a running back in the draft. But obviously the draft hasn't happened. Everybody was saying how, Pittsburgh is going to come and they're going to sign a free agent. Connor's going to be gone, but they'll get somebody. They'll bring somebody in for sure to start. Well, pretty much everybody that is kind of like startable is pretty much gone. They've moved on and they've found their spots, and I'm surprised that some people haven't looked here, or maybe Pittsburgh hasn't looked elsewhere. I don't know what's going on, but the fact of the matter is that Benny Snell right now is the starting running back, and even if they go to the draft and find somebody, I think that Benny Snell is somebody who is going to get the ball a lot as they kind of break in whoever this rookie might be, and that rookie might bust. We don't even know who it is. They don't even exist yet. The draft hasn't happened, so as of right now today, Benny Snell being the Pittsburgh starting running back and getting taken 50th overall is it's interesting. I don't want to say 50th overall taken, but he's the 50th rank running back right now, which is a little ludicrous for a starting running back on Pittsburgh, who still has a really good offense, honestly. So we'll see what happens. Stick with this. We'll do an update on this, but hope you like what you saw today. We have a lot of these. If you want to check out the channel, we do a lot of good baseball stuff too, but this isn't baseball. This is football, baby. So we'll see you next time.